In this The Hunter Call of the Wild tutorial, we're going to go over the core concepts that make up this game. Everything we go over in this video will be included in the base game, no DLC required, and be sure to stick around till the end to learn why this guide will be useful for the game's lifetime. Number one thing we'll be going over is the core mechanics. Number two is understanding animal anatomy. Number three is the gameplay loop. Number 4 is using your inventory and animal rating, and lastly we'll look at some tips and tricks to help you become a quick master. All of the Hunter Call of the Wild revolves around aiming your gun, pulling the trigger in the proper position, and profiting. Simple, right? Well, to understand the basics of this, we're going to head out to a range on Hirschfelden as shown here on the map, slightly to the east of where you start the game. You can come here to practice shot placement, and I absolutely recommend doing so. Hitting these buttons will have targets drop in at various ranges, and after taking your shot you can see exactly where it lands. So as you can see, a shot at 100 yards has virtually no drop, while a shot at 300 yards is significant. By understanding where to place your shots at what distance, you will be able to much more consistently take down animals. You can hold down R on PC or press Y or triangle on console while looking through binoculars to set a marker showing the distance to your target, and be sure to aim at the animal's feet while doing this, as oftentimes their hitboxes can get weird and you'll end up putting your marker on a target 50 yards behind them. Spend enough time in the shooting range to feel comfortable, and you're ready for step 2, understanding animal anatomy. Modern hunting games preach ethical shots, or a shot that hunters would take in real life, meaning shots that will take an animal down quickly with minimal suffering. We're out on a range at Parque Fernando to show you how this works. You can see on the targets here that there are animals with practice rings where an ethical shot placement would be. Think about the animal you're about to shoot. Where are its lungs? Its heart? Always aim there. Not only will it bring the animal down quickly, so you spend less time running around tracking, but it is also the only way to guarantee getting a trophy on that animal. An improperly placed shot will result in a loss of the trophy score. A safe place to go on an animal that you don't understand its anatomy is in its chest cavity. Broadside shots are your friend. The Hunter Call of the Wild is all about taking down animals and amassing a collection of huge and rare animals in your trophy lodge. Every animal you take has a trophy rating of none, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and great one. There is also grounded, meaning you shot a bird while it was on the ground, so just keep in mind to shoot those in the air. Every time you harvest an animal, it will spawn in as that exact same animal on the same map with a random trophy rating. The higher the trophy rating, the less likely it is to spawn in as that trophy. Say you take a whitetail and score a silver on it. Now the next time you turn on your game, there will be a new whitetail on your map at a random trophy rating. It could be another silver, a diamond, or even a great one, but don't get too excited about that one. They often take literally thousands of kills to find. In addition to creating new spawns, you'll also get some cash and XP, allowing you to buy new skills, perks, and weapons to keep on taking more and more animals more easily. The last piece of the gameplay loop is the trophy lodge. When you kill an animal and reach the harvest screen, you'll always have the option to taxidermize that animal. When you do so, you can head over to your lodge and hang them up on the wall. It's that simple. There's lots of people in the Call of the Wild community who insist on only taxidermizing rares and diamonds, but I'm here to tell you to do whatever is fun for you. When I started playing, I taxed a lot of golds, and it made my trophy lodge look awesome, and it kept me coming back to play more. Next up is inventory management, which is fairly finicky in Call of the Wild. Going to any of these storage chest markers, typically located in outposts and other places you can rest, you can access your storage as well as the in-game shop where you spend the money you earn from kills. You can buy weapons, calls, decoys, everything in the game from here. If you see a gun you want to use, you can select compatible items in the bottom right of the screen. This will take you directly to usable ammo, scopes, iron sights, and anything else that you can use with that particular weapon. For example, if we go to the 7mm here and click on compatible items, it will show us 7mm rounds. However, there are two types. No matter what gun you are using, always use the ammo type with higher penetration. They are the same price, and higher penetration is always better than higher expansion. I'm actually not really sure why they don't just have one type of ammo for how it mechanically functions in the game. It also tells us what the class of ammo is. The 7mm displays class 4 to 9, meaning it can ethically take these classed animals. If you were to go and shoot a duck with this gun, you would not get a trophy from it. An animal's class is displayed in their portrait when you highlight them, as well as in your Hunter Codex. After buying the gun and ammo you want, you need to go to storage and equip those items individually into your inventory. You then leave the shop screen, open your inventory, and click and drag the items to your weapon wheel. I know this is needlessly complicated, but once you get used to it, it becomes a minor nuisance. Lastly, do not waste your money on synths. They do not do anything at all. I'm not sure why they're even still in the game. If you've made it this far into the video, please do consider subscribing and liking the video if you feel I've earned it. The last section of this tutorial is tips and tricks. The first tip I have for you is the first two things that you should save up for. Number one is the rangefinder in the shop, which requires you to reach level 12, and the other thing is the zeroing skill from leveling up. These two things combined will make taking animals so much easier, and I literally don't play the game without them. After unlocking the zeroing skill, you will need to click on it again and activate it, otherwise nothing will happen. My next tip is don't sprint everywhere. Every video has the person sprinting around the map, but typically this is because either one, that person knows their map well and has a very good understanding of the game, or two, they're sprinting after an animal they've already shot at. Sprinting aimlessly will spook everything in a literal 300-yard radius and will result in you feeling like the world is completely empty. Next up, take everything that moves. Whether it's a big moose or a doe whitetail, it will yield you XP and money. If you see a group of all-female deer, don't just move on. Instead, take one or two of them, make around $2,000 and 300 XP, and then continue hunting. This brings us to the very last point of this video, which is a guide you can find on Steam. Now, you do not need a Steam account to access this. Simply Google search the Hunter Call of the Wild all-in-one guide, and it will be one of the first links that comes up. This guide displays every single animal on every map, their fur types, what is and isn't rare, shown by standard font commons, bolded uncommons, and underlined rares. It also shows you what weapons and ammo types you can take every animal with, their levels, and so much more. Huge shout out to Kosa for making and constantly updating that guide. I have it on my second monitor basically whenever I'm playing. There's also a companion Call of the Wild app you can download on your phone. However, the last time I used it, it was very outdated, so I would definitely suggest using Kosa's guide over on Steam. And that's gonna do it for this tutorial video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.